Hi students! Welcome to this lesson where we'll delve into Carol Rumens' evocative poem, the Emigre. In our previous discussions, we explored the poem's narrative and thematic context. Today, we'll begin by examining the poem's use of personification and portrayal of the city as a living entity, reflecting the speaker's deep affection and the desire to preserve its memory. Next, we will explore the poem's vivid imagery and how it evokes the speaker's cherished memories of her homeland, emphasizing the emotional impacts of displacement. Finally, we'll break down the poem's structure, focusing on the use of caesura and the deliberate construction of its three stanzas, which have varying lengths, to understand how these elements enhance the poem's authenticity and emotional resonance. Just as a reminder, the relevant themes for this poem are identity and heritage and memory and loss. Let's begin. The poem utilizes language that personifies the speaker's homeland, giving it life and making it a character within the narrative. This personification adds depth to the emotional bond the speaker feels towards her city. This is demonstrated in the line, "My city comes to me in its own white plane." By describing the city as if it has the agency to travel and reach out to her, the speaker elevates it from just a place to a cherished entity with a presence in her life. The phrase "in its own white plane" conjures an image of purity and autonomy, suggesting the city's essence arrives untainted and powerful. This personification reinforces the idea that the homeland remains a living part of the speaker's identity and heightens the sense of yearning and loss she feels. This personification serves as a key tool to illustrate the undying connection between the speaker and her remembered homeland. This technique underscores the idea that, despite physical separation, the emotional and psychological presence of the homeland endures within the speaker's thoughts and feelings. Another important aspect of language in The Emigree by Carol Rumens is the use of vivid imagery to create a sense of place and belonging. This descriptive language not only paints a picture of the speaker's homeland, but also evokes emotions and memories tied to it. For example, the city is described. The white streets of that city, the graceful slopes, then glow even clearer as time rolls its tanks. The imagery of white streets and graceful slopes creates an idyllic and serene picture of the city, highlighting the beauty and peace that the speaker associates with her homeland. The use of the word white suggests purity and innocence, while graceful connotes elegance and tranquility. This positive imagery contrasts sharply with the harsh image of time rolls its tanks, which symbolizes the destructive force of time and possibly political turmoil or war. By juxtaposing these images, Rumens illustrates the tension between the speaker's cherished memories and the harsh reality from which she is now separated. This contrast underscores the speaker's deep emotional connection to her city and her yearning to preserve its memory against the ravages of time and conflict. The vivid imagery thus enriches the poem's exploration of themes such as nostalgia, the power of memory, and the impact of displacement on personal identity. Carol Rumens' use of caesura in Emigree effectively highlights the speaker's emotional fragmentation and the tension between past and present. A caesura is a deliberate pause within a line of poetry, often marked by punctuation such as commas, dashes, or periods. This is evident in the lines, "There once was a country. I left it as a child, but my memory of it is sunlight clear, but I can't get it off my tongue. It tastes of sunlight, and my city hides behind me." They mutter death. The caesura in "There once was a country. I left it as a child" creates a deliberate pause that emphasizes the distance and disconnection the speaker feels from their homeland. Similarly, in "But I can't get it off my tongue," it tastes of sunlight. The pause after tongue underscores the speaker's struggle to articulate their memories, juxtaposing the bitterness of exile with the sweetness of recollection. In "My city hides behind me." They mutter death. The caesura after "behind me" creates a stark contrast between the protective memory of the city and the ominous threats from others. These pauses enhance the sense of fragmentation and tension, mirroring the speaker's conflicted emotions and the contrast between their idealized past and the harsh present. Thus, Rumens' use of caesura not only enriches the poem's emotional depth, but also reinforces its themes of displacement, memory, and identity, allowing the reader to experience the speaker's poignant sense of loss and enduring connection to their homeland. In Carol Rumens' poem, The Emigree, the varying stanza lengths reflect the instability and fragmented nature of the speaker's memories and emotions. The first stanza, with its 8 lines, introduces a nostalgic and idealized recollection of the speaker's homeland, setting the tone with, "There once was a country. I left it as a child." The second stanza, also 8 lines, continues to explore these memories, but hints at the contrast between past idealization and present reality. The final stanza, slightly longer with 9 lines, delves deeper into the tension between the cherished memories and the darker current realities, reflecting the complexity and persistence of the speaker's emotional struggle. Well done! Today we have covered the language and structure of this poem. Beginning with language, we observed how the poem personifies the speaker's homeland, transforming it into a living character that highlights the deep emotional bond she feels. This personification, combined with vivid imagery, creates a strong sense of place and belonging, contrasting idyllic descriptions of the homeland with the harsh realities of displacement. Structurally, we noted how Rumens' use of caesura emphasizes the speaker's emotional fragmentation and the tension between past and present, enhancing the poem's emotional depth and its themes of memory and identity. Additionally, the varying stanza lengths reflect the instability and fragmentation of the speaker's memories and emotions, mirroring the complexity of her emotional struggle. Good work! See you in our next lesson! Watch the rest of the GCSE English Literature course at Sophos Education.